Welcome to the Smash Jump Podcast, your place for honest and passionate gaming conversations. By the time you all watch this episode, we will be just a few days away from Jeff Keighley's Summer Games Fest showcase. And so we thought it would be fun to do a predictions episode. What's going to be there? What might not show up? Will it be a great showcase or will it flop? And will there be any surprises? We're going to discuss all of that and so much more. But first, if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe to the Smash Jump YouTube channel. Comment below your predictions for SGF and check out the Smash Jump Patreon to watch an exclusive post show after this one. With that, let's go ahead and introduce our guests for this episode.
Hello, I'm Nicole. I am a Smash Jump contributor and I host the podcast usually with Ashton. Someone go next.
Sam.
Hi, I'm Sam. I'm a person who works at Smash Jump. I'm the video production manager and also a contributor.
Hi, I'm Adrian. You've seen me before. I'm the managing editor.
And we're going to have a very special post show this time because I just finished Halo 4 and I have thoughts. So we're going to have a little bit of a Halo podcast, a little mini Halo podcast for the post show here. At least that's what we're going to try to do. Those things go off the rails sometimes. So
I feel like we have one of those like every week.
Yeah, it seems to be a thing. It will, it's just like our brand. I don't know. That's just what we're building up to. But for now, let's go ahead and focus in on Jeff Keighley and Summer Games Fest. So obviously, Summer Games Fest happening on Friday as of when this is being uploaded. I think it's like around 5 p.m. Eastern is when it's supposed to start. And for me, just starting out here, a little bit of typically underwhelming, I would think, is Summer Games Fest so far. Like, we just coming off of a Game Awards that Jeff Keighley put on, which was like one of the greatest game showcases ever created in the history of mankind. And so I think we're definitely going to have to tamper our expectations for this Summer Games Fest. But I'm curious, Adrian, to start us off, what are your expectations for this Summer Games Fest? None of your predictions yet, but just kind of what's the vibe you're getting for how hype you expect this Summer Games Fest to be?
Well, I agree with you, Ashton, in the sense that I think the previous two, so we are in the third iteration, right? Have been
I think it's
pretty
3.
decent, but nothing really standing out. So honestly, I don't know, maybe I'm more pessimistic or realist. I don't expect that much. I mean, we're gonna go through some predictions and you can probably see how much, I don't know how to say, how much we hope that we'll get from it and what we'll actually probably gonna get from it. I mean, I'm still excited. As I was saying to you guys before, I still miss E3. E3 for me was basically Christmas, and it was an amazing time when everyone came together and dumped all the big sort of announcements. I don't expect that many big announcements. I think that will probably still come um, for the Game Awards. But I think an important aspect of it is that 2 days right after the SGF, we're gonna have the Xbox showcase. So I think we'll probably discuss about this a bit, but I think Xbox might actually wanna, save some of the big announcements for their showcase rather than for the SGF.
Mm.
Yeah, I think that's a good point because like you always have that thing with Summer Games Fest where he kind of tries to make an umbrella for other showcases to be under Summer Games, but like that ends up I feel like hurting his own show a little bit because people start holding things for their own showcase. But Sam, what about you? What do you think about your expectations, your hype level for this Summer Games Fest showcase?
I have no expectations at all. Every single time that I've watched these things, I just think it's absolutely vapid of what it used to be. Not to say E3 was, a godsend. I like E3 and I do miss E3 for, the hype announcements and also the cringe as well. But I don't think that like Summer Games Fest, for me personally, I don't think Summer Games Fest carries the same torch that E3 has. E3, like Adrian said, used to be a Christmas for gamers. I remember when I was still in high school, I remember getting so hyped for June 6th or June 8th or whenever it was, and just rushing home to make sure that I could see all the cool announcements. I even remember when Halo 4 was announced, and that blew my mind. You don't get that same feeling from Summer Games Fest. So the only things that I know for a fact are going to be in Summer Games Fest are some trailers, some people talking, and saying like, "Oh,
There's going to
gaming
be
is
one
so
guy talking for
amazing."
sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I think we'll all gather around Jeff Keighley's house and we'll all, be very happy with what he's got to display, and then we'll all go online and we'll all complain about how cringe it is and how we miss everything, but then we also will complain about how everything was cringe back then as well. And the cycle will continue and I will still be depressed and drinking.
Well, that's a good way to start it off.
Yes, there you
Great
go.
thought.
So
Great
I don't
thought,
like
Jeff.
I don't like it. I don't like Summer Games Fest. I think it's average. I think it's average.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
fine. It's
yeah.
average.
Well, you know what? Maybe Jeff might actually be listening on
I want
people.
Jeff Keighley to be
And
listening. Can
some
he
of
invite me?
them, you know what? He might actually go a bit nuts this edition, because I think he knows the previous two editions were kind of like
Well, he always puts that little poll at the end, being like, "How did we do?" for like every single
yeah.
time, and I always kind
One
of give it like B or C. I don't want to be too mean because sometimes you're
And we
just
probably should
fucking
mention
you.
this because maybe he isn't, maybe, he doesn't understand, but just having Hideo Kojima make appearances is not enough.
it's not sufficient.
It's, 10
I think they
minutes.
have a contract at this
I
point.
think
It's
they
like,
do.
oh, you
Yeah.
have to like put me in this amount of show. It's like Kojima's like in a Marvel contract. We're like, okay, you have to be in like 8 showcases and like you're gonna
Hideo
have a
Kojima
big
gets more
spot.
time than any acceptance speech, like as in
Yeah.
all of them added together. He gets more time than that. So
Maybe I'm just like fed up of like big budget stuff these days and just, the whole corporate side of video games, but I'm far more interested in the little things right now, like
Yeah.
the little indie games and the double A games and stuff like that. Like all the best games I played this year so far have been double A or indie games. Atomfall, for example. I still
yeah.
yet to play Claire Obscure, but I've heard
DLC is coming for
amazing
Atomfall.
things.
Just throwing
Yep.
that in. I'm very
Yeah,
excited.
and then there's a bunch of other games that I played as well, like Out of Sight, which I reviewed recently. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. I just think there's a lot more with indie games than there is the big budget stuff. So like what I probably expect is remakes. Like there's a lot of remakes. I know we'll obviously get to the show doc in a bit, Ashton, but I was just flicking through it earlier and I think I saw a remake mentioned about like 5 times,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh great,
We'll see how
more.
much that actually happens, but
Yeah, oh, great.
Yeah.
Older games that I've probably already played are getting remade, but now the water has reflections like, wow, fucking
hell
hell.
yeah.
Jesus. Like,
Gaming.
wow. $80. Wow, let's go.
Well, on that note, Nicole, I don't know about you, but I'm a little bit
Yeah.
of a Jeff truther. I'm a little bit of a Jeff believer. What about
Oh,
you?
I
How are
love
you feeling
Jeff.
about the hype?
I love Jeff Keighley a lot because I do think that he is one of those people that like just really does love games and wants it to succeed. And if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have the Game Awards and we wouldn't have the orchestra, which are like my favorite. My favorite part of the whole thing is the orchestra. It always comes last.
Oh,
So
yeah.
me at 4 a.m. is just like I'm just
Oh,
suffering.
yeah.
I'm in pain. I'm like I just want to sleep, and I'm
Although I
waiting for
wake,
that
I
damn
wake up at
orchestra.
that point and I'm like, yes, yes, please play.
um, so I think Jeff Keighley's really great. I do think Summer Game Fest just isn't solid. I don't think it's entirely Jeff's fault. I think because obviously you've got all the other little showcases happening around the same time. With Xbox doing their showcase, I mean, it's not going to leave much room for anything that they're doing there, which is kind of sucks. I was just thinking about the last Xbox showcase that I watched, and that was obviously Claire Obscure and South of Midnight. So it's just like that hit the ground running and it was awesome. While Summer Game Fest is just doesn't have the amount of stuff that I really care about comparatively. Yeah, so I find Summer Game Fest quite cringy. I think last year maybe I think the audience, you couldn't hear them. So I think
Yeah.
Jeff and everyone were like hyping everything up.
Like I
and you
forgot
couldn't-
they were in there.
yeah, you couldn't hear the crowd clapping. So you just hear him say something and then wait for everyone to clap, and it just sounds like there's silence. And then he'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "Is someone excited? I can't hear anything." It was so awkward. I was like, "Oh right, I really need them to mic the audience so that I stop crumbling."
Everyone gets a lapel mic, it's just like right
Yeah,
here.
yeah, right there. So yeah, I
Audio
mean,
just gets boomed.
we're gonna see Hideo Kojima, and I love Hideo Kojima, but I'm a bit sick of seeing Hideo Kojima so much.
I want to say for the record, I don't hate Jeff Keighley. I
No.
like him. I like the Game Awards. I think they're okay, even
Oh,
though the
yeah,
a,
no, yeah.
a,
You
a
did
couple
a
a
whole
couple
video
of
about it.
times, yeah, like the
Yeah.
performances and stuff. I love the fucking performances are great. But I can clearly tell that obviously he has to like put the sponsors in there in order to get
Yeah.
the funding, because if he doesn't get the funding, then there's not going to be any Summer Games Fest or Game Awards. I get that. I understand it. Does it always have to be so egregious? No. Stop telling
think
me
that's
there's a special
America.
on DoorDash. I don't care about
We don't
DoorDash
have to.
promos. I'll tell you what though, there was that one thing where he said like, "Oh, speaking of Final Fantasy, it's like, oh, you can
Oh, that
get
was so good, dude.
15% off if you
That
put
was
Yeah.
Final
so
Fantasy 7 on DoorDash." I'm like, you sly
You know,
motherfucker.
Yeah.
I doubt Jeff is watching this, but in the off chance that he is, I have a proposal for you, and I think that might actually help a bit and get a bit more hype for SGF. What if we do it over 2 or 3 days? Like have three
Mm-mm.
different,
No,
like
okay.
Too
First of
much, too
all,
much, too
you're just
much.
showcases.
trying. You're just trying to do E3 again. So I know what you're doing. Second of all, the first. Y'all remember the first year of SGF when it was like you had to go to his website and it was like, here's 10 different showcases across 2 weeks, and this is Summer Games Fest, and you were like, okay, which one of these is like the Summer Games Fest? And he was like, all of them.
The main one,
All of
the
them are
main
summer,
event.
and it was like horrible because you could not like you were like I don't know which one to give a shit about. You know what I mean? It was like it
Yeah.
was terrible. So I yeah don't Adrian. I see what you're trying to do.
Yeah,
You
be
can't fool
silent.
me.
How you going?
You
But
can't fool
Yeah.
me.
just on the back of it as well, we do forget that COVID was a thing, and
Yeah.
COVID did change the entertainment industry for the better or for the worse is arguable. I think it was largely for the worse, but that's my own personal take on it. But there are certain things that have obviously happened after COVID where it's no longer feasible to have a big auditorium full of people and have showcases that last for days and days and days, like with what Adrian just recommended. It's just not feasible
Yeah.
anymore. Loads of companies have realized like, oh fucking hell, I can do this showcase online for fuck all. Great, I'll save a bunch of bucks on that. Like that's fantastic. But at the same time, you lose that appeal that loads of people had. I really would have loved to go to an E3. And I still
Yeah.
wouldn't mind
Same.
going to a Summer Game Fest, even though I just fucking slacked the whole show off. I
Good
still wouldn't mind,
experience.
Jeff's gonna
going,
bar
yeah,
you from the doors.
no,
Yeah, I think you're banned
Well,
now.
I
I'll
think
use a pseudonym, Mike White
there's
or something.
there's a level of like being
Walter White.
in
Walter
the
White.
moment and active and present that's so important. Like for example, I'm just going to use Severance as a good example. So Severance season one, a lot of people, most people didn't really know what was going on there. And then I think for season two, just before it came out, they did that promo at Grand Central Station where they set up the cubicle of them all working, and that went everywhere, it went viral. And having that interactive moment of interactive advertising really pushed that and made people want to play it. And then they did the thing where they went to London and got all the balloons with the main character's face all over
Oh
it,
yeah, I
and
saw
went
that.
around and did all that. And that also, and they didn't announce it, they just did it in the middle of London just because why not? And I just think that it's such good advertising, such a fun way to get people involved
Yeah.
and let them kind of feel part of the project. So when you're at home, there is a level of like disconnect where you can't fully
Hmm.
get an attachment to it. So I don't know.
I I agree with you guys in a sense. Like again, I'm still pining for E3 type shows because I just don't like the whole fakeness of the digital presentations and trailers. Like you have that overly excited voice, especially I'm looking at you, Nintendo, because everyone in the that fake voiceover and it's so exciting and so on, but we don't really see a lot of the people that have actually walked on the game.
The
There's
best
no
one I've ever
way.
heard was the one where they showed Doom on Switch and they were like, "Go to hell!" and Doom and Switch, and I was like, "Whoa, whoa!" Nintendo just said
Oh.
hell. Whoa, I can't believe it.
We can't have that.
And there's also the element, right? Like you're saying, it's tactile in the sense that, oh man, maybe we can try even for 1 or 20 minutes a demo or some sort of
Yeah.
early access look of it. That would be great. I mean, yeah, probably we're never gonna go back to those days. I don't want to sound old or anything like that, but
We
you
are
We are
know,
old.
old. We are
yeah,
old.
We are
probably.
old. Yeah.
The gray hairs, they come into my eyebrows. You know,
They're
I
it's
got
fine.
I
coming.
got someone both besides my head.
Oh,
They're
my
coming.
boyfriend's gone like fully grey already, and he's only 29. So
Oh my gosh.
Oh
Oh my
shit,
gosh.
it's gonna
But
happen to me next year.
to your all's point, like obviously companies love catering their own stuff because then you know, you can craft a message to be what you want rather than having that volatile, improv thing of being on stage and something goes wrong and you have to figure it
you're
out and then things look
breathtaking.
to yeah,
Yeah.
those are
That was a good
great, but
one. That was a good
they
one.
want to avoid the really bad ones which happen all the
Yeah.
time, like somebody up there with a controller and then things just don't work or whatever,
No, they're
right?
great. Leave them in.
But those
They're
are
they're
great
funny,
too.
They're
We're
but
great.
talking about that.
they're funny in like a retrospective kind of way. But during the you're like, oh. But
Oh, the
I think with the whole like having a stadium, having a studio, having like a big audience and stuff, I agree with Sam that it's not really feasible to do that anymore, especially over a course of a couple days. However, I do think it's feasible for one event, and I think Jeff is the one guy who can make that stuff happen because he's already made it happen. I mean, we've seen that already with Game Awards every single year. He does it every single year, and it only gets more and more and more popular, more and more viewers, more and more successful, right? And we just had the best one ever created just this past year, right? So like Jeff is probably the only person right now who has the cachet to be able to put on shows like this. And so that's why I'm hoping I think Game Awards is definitely like the event of the year now instead of like I feel like summer has kind of been pushed aside for the winter now because of Game Awards.
I
But I'm
also want it
hoping that
noted that who the hell wants to be inside watching a game event like in the summer when the summer's happening, while in the winter you want to be wrapped up warm and you want to watch
I
that
did.
stuff.
I did when I was
well, I
a
want to be
kid.
inside. I don't want to be
I
out there
mean,
in the heat. I don't want to sweat.
I don't have
Just for
aircon.
a
Being
few
outside is
hours.
better in this
Oh,
country.
see, that's the problem with being in Britain. So I got the
Yeah.
AC all the time.
But I think it's really nice being like all cozy, bundled up inside with like my hot chocolate and
That's true.
watching, the Game Awards because I'm just like, oh, it feels all Christmassy, New Year's just happened. It
It's
feels really
unmatched. It's
magical.
really unmatched. That's
It's
an
a good
unmatched
feeling.
vibe. But
I think what I'm getting.
Jeff has real quick. Jeff has
Yeah.
had multiple years of Game Awards to build up to what we got last year. Summer Games Fest has only been around for 2 years. This will be the third. So I'm gonna say that there's still time and potential for him to build it up to be something truly special, and maybe it starts with this show. But before we get to the predictions, Adrian, what was the last thing you wanted to go ahead and say?
No, I exactly what you're saying. I want this one in the summer to be built a bit more. I'm not saying it should overtake, I don't think it can overtake the Game Awards in any case, but I think you use the opportunity to be making this summer one basically all about the announcements and so on. I feel like that would be maybe striking a sort of balance. But yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough. And so, speaking of what we're going to see at this Game Awards and the games we're going to see, we're going to go ahead and get into some predictions. So, a little bit ago, Jeff did tweet out a big graphic that had all of the partners that are in Summer Games Fest this year. What that all means, who really knows? Like, Steam was on there, but like, not Valve. So like
They're giving away
Half-Life
free Steam
3
decks
probably,
again?
no, Steam Decks, yeah, probably actually. That's a
Probably.
good pull right there. Or just like is Steam, Switch, Xbox and PlayStation all on there just because they happen to like games are going to release on them and they happen to put that on the, you know what I mean? Like I don't know what it really all means, but we do have the names. We do have all the studios there that are going to be partnered in there. And Adrian, I saw you put a lot of work into all of your predictions here. So you can't just go through all of them
No.
all at once. But I want you to go ahead and start off and give me a few of like some big predictions and stuff that you think might be going on here.
All right.
I just
So
got a question real quick. Sorry,
Yes,
Adrian.
Sam.
What does round one mean? Because I'm just looking now, 2025 partners, round one. They're gonna fight to the
Company.
death or something? What does that mean?
That's the name of the company, isn't it?
Wait, what are you talking about?
Just 2025 partners round. I've got the thing open in front of me where
It's
all the
round
logos
one.
of everybody. It says round
There are
one. What does that
60.
mean?
There are 16
60.
total, but the part one that you see there are basically the biggest ones.
Okay,
Oh.
okay,
So
That
right.
there's
makes
more
sense. I was
than
like,
I
what
didn't
the
that.
even
hell are
see
you
that.
talking about?
Good
There
catch,
is
good
more
catch,
than
good
that.
catch.
Yeah.
You didn't
Because I
see
was
it's right up
curious,
there.
like,
Yeah, for the audience, on the
Yeah.
graphic that Jeff Keighley put out that has all the studios on it,
Oh,
it's on the top.
yeah.
It's on the
Round
top.
one.
It says round one. I thought I had mistyped on the show doc and that it was a game fight still, and you were calling out like a typo of me.
That's what I
But-
was like, is that the name of a company?
no,
I've
no.
heard of. What are you talking
The
about?
actual picture itself,
Yeah,
round
yeah,
one.
hilarious.
I as well got confused. I'm like, are we gonna like fucking Mortal Kombat this shit? Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right, so
Anyway,
Adrian,
sorry,
let me
Adrian,
give
go
you
ahead.
give you some guidance. Let's start with probably the partner that will have put the highest potential and the most likely to see stuff actually show up. And let's do that with Xbox. Let's go ahead and start with Xbox because they're a little bit more, friendly with showing their stuff with other people. So give me a few, let's say 1, 2, 3, couple predictions that you think we may see here at Summer Games Fest. You can either, talk about ones that you think for sure are going to be there, or you can go buck wild and give me like your craziest thing. It's up to you.
all right. So first of all, Ashton, I want to say I like your t-shirt. and I think
Yep,
that's
I am
very
wearing an
fitting.
Xbox shirt. It's kind of hard to see because it's all black.
There
Hey,
you
bestie.
go.
It's like the one
There you
piece
go.
of like corporate merch I have when I used to work at
Yeah.
GameStop like
I sure want my
10 years ago.
PlayStation top.
Phil, I hope
And
you're
just for
listening to
fairness, I
this.
also have my controller right here. So
Oh, there you go.
I don't have the
So,
Switch stuff. Don't worry about that part.
no. So, Phil, I hope you're listening to what I'm about to say and you changed your showcase for this. But okay, so for Xbox, I think they're gonna probably keep the big ones for the showcase. But I am, I feel confident, somewhat confident, I say 60%, that we might actually get a Starfield PS5 port
Stealing all
being
of my
announced.
options. Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
Stealing all
so
of them. He said one.
No. I've seen some of the stuff he said, so I'm just like,
Oh,
oh,
okay. Yeah,
I've
yeah.
got like no
so
material here.
Starfield, so we know there's been rumors about this port. I think we might see an announcement for it. Um, we know about Gears of War 1 remaster. Maybe we'll see a teaser for that. Besides that, Lies of P Overture DLC. I think this might actually be a shadow drop, a DLC for shadow drop for the
Bruh,
game.
I was saying this the other night and I was like, if they shadow drop that game, I'm gonna come so hard. So
That would be amazing. And like I remember that this was one of Phil Spencer's favorite games as well when it came out, The Lies of P. So who knows, maybe. I will honestly think that, for example, a Gears of War E-Day teaser with release date will probably be announced at the showcase, so not here. And the highly rumored Master Chief Collection PlayStation 5 port, I
yeah.
think maybe not, I would say. But yeah, I don't think we're gonna see a Halo remake teaser here. We're probably gonna see that at the Xbox showcase if we ever see it this
Yeah.
year.
Yeah.
And this is interesting, okay? There's many rumors, some supposed confirmation about this one. Persona 4 remake announcement. I could see it now, or I could see it at the showcase. I think people started talking about because Metaphor, which is also made by Atlas, is on Game Pass just now, right? So who knows? Maybe there's something to it. Uh, but yeah, so I'll probably say this is a long shot for me, but Persona 4 remake announcement. I think that would be the big one for the Xbox One now.
Okay, so let's break some of that down, right? Um, let's start with Lies of P. We do know that Neowitz is one of the partners for SGF. We know that that's coming, right? We've seen the trailer for it already. Um, Nicole, give me the lowdown. Do you think that there's a real shot that that thing could shadow drop next week on Friday? And
They
if it
did
does, how are you
not,
gonna feel
yeah.
about it?
They did not put an official date in. They were like, it's coming on this period. So I'm just like, you're gonna shadow drop it, is what I was thinking.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think, well, it would be really cool. I don't know if they're gonna save the actual shadow drop for like the Xbox event. Oh no, they're not, because they're no longer on Game Pass. Yeah, it would be this event if they're gonna shadow drop it for sure. Yeah. Oh my god, it's no longer on Game Pass. Oh my god, I have to pay for it again. God damn it. So I've got to pay for it. God damn. I'd love if Xbox at the last minute decided to put it back on Game Pass. I want that added.
They took it
Yeah, I
away,
mean,
man. That's crazy.
I know it's so rude. And they did it because of
Wait,
this.
okay,
And
hold on. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
go.
I don't. I'm new to the Xbox Game Pass thing. I still don't even have
Mhm.
it, but I'm thinking about it. If a game comes out on Xbox Game Pass, like let's say Adam Falls on Game Pass, right?
Yes.
If a DLC comes out for it, does it
Yep.
also just get bundled straight into it, or how
Nope.
does that work?
Only certain games do. So Sea of Thieves, everything's free bundled on because the game's obviously everything's free in there. Except obviously Battle Pass and cosmetics. No, so with Lies of P, it's got DLC, so you pay for the DLC on top of it. What they do
Okay.
sometimes, with things that are on Game Pass is they give you a like discount, which I think is what they're doing with Atomfall. Which is the DLC slash the like all that the special edition. You get like a big discount on that because you already have it because of Game Pass. So they just, instead of you having to pay the full 80 quid or whatever it is, you essentially just pay for the upgrade, deluxe upgrade.
Gotcha.
So that's what they do
Gotcha.
sometimes.
Okay.
So Lies of P, I feel like if it was on Game Pass, they might consider a deluxe upgrade, but I doubt it. I think they would just make you pay for the DLC. So I gotta pay for the whole thing. Yeah, I do think there's a really high chance of it shadow dropping. If not, we're just gonna get the most insanely fantastic trailer, I hope to God. Like the proper launch trailer being like, this is coming like tomorrow, you know, like when Sam Lake came out dancing and was like, oh, I'll be ready in like 15 hours, and I was like, daddy, please. So yeah, I honestly, I fully expect a shadow drop. If I don't, I'll be disappointed. So yeah, I see
Gonna be a
it.
good one. That's gonna be a good one. I will say, historically, the last two Summer Games Fest, Xbox has had a pretty big presence. They showed a Fable trailer at in 2023. They showed Starfield gameplay, stuff like that. So they showed a Avowed gameplay, South of Midnight. So they do like having a presence in
Yeah,
Summer Games Fest, and it's not outside
yeah,
the realm of possibility that they show off stuff, some bigger name stuff, but maybe in a shorter snippet, and then have the bigger trailer at the Xbox showcase. They're not,
yeah.
it's not a that's not a something that they shy away from, right? They're
No.
very open about that kind of stuff. So I could definitely see some of those things that Adrian just talked about. I think I I don't know if we'll get both a Master Chief Collection PS5 port and a Starfield PS5 port. I think those would be I don't know if they really want to make their entire presence like be so congested with PlayStation stuff. I feel like that's like a one game at a time type thing. So if I had to pick one of those, I would probably say like Master Chief Collection would be first, and that's only because Bethesda did just drop Oblivion Remastered, and so I'm not
Yeah.
sure that they necessarily want to have another Bethesda game for players to go buy immediately after Oblivion when it's just been a month. Like I think they still want to milk that a little bit longer. I know they're
Yeah.
different genres, but it's the same vibe, of like big open world RPG. So I would say Master Chief Collection, but I'm still thinking that's probably not going to happen yet. I don't know what it is about Halo on PlayStation, but I feel like that's got to be like
I feel like they gotta wait.
it's got to
I
be
feel
a
like
big deal. You know what
I
I'm
feel like
saying? Like it's
I
got
feel
to
like
be
they should
huge.
wait till like 2027 when the Halo 3 anniversary happens and then just like go
Mm.
mental with that. I feel like that is honestly like when
It's
they
not gonna
would be
happen. It
sensible.
will never happen.
I
It will
know, but
never
I can
happen.
hope for people.
No,
Never
okay,
happen.
so I just read recently there are rumors about this. Supposedly a big Halo announcement or event coming in October. Maybe that is the
Hmm.
time to announce. I think it will come. I mean, Gears of War already was basically announced that it's gonna come, the remaster, to PlayStation, the first one. So I see how Master Chief would also come to PlayStation eventually and Switch too, I think.
I definitely think that the Xbox is one of the things because obviously they've got their own thing coming up, but because this is the every platform kind of showcases in like games that are available most places, I do think that something is going to drop or be announced. And I think it's either going to be Starfield. I think it's going to be Starfield to be honest. Actually, out of all the things, I think it'd be
I
that.
agree with Nicole. I think
Yeah.
I think Starfield looks likely to me.
I know what we're saying it's a bit too close to Oblivion, but Oblivion Remaster wasn't. I don't know. It wasn't huge, as in like it didn't take a lot of work to kind of push it out. I feel like Starfield would make some sense. And
Yeah.
I know they just it wasn't Indiana Jones by Bethesda as well.
Yep.
So
Okay, well, they're
yeah.
subsidiary, yeah, but not
Yeah.
studios proper.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I feel like they're just they've slammed two things over there. They can
Because
easily
I
slap
don't
a
know if
third
those
on.
are like I feel like those are separate enough that it's like.
Mhm.
Also,
Yeah.
where did the we first learned that Indiana Jones was coming to PS5? Do we remember where that happened at?
Uh,
Game Awards, wasn't
the
it?
Game
Was it Game
Awards.
Yeah,
Awards?
they brought
Yeah,
Harrison
Game
Ford
Awards.
out and
Because
announced it was coming.
I feel like a Halo coming to PlayStation would be like a Game Awards thing because
Yeah,
Jeff
it's
Keighley
not.
is so like
Yeah.
his whole thing with Game Awards is that we're bringing gaming together. And like that's
Mhm.
always been his whole thing with that. You remember that year when he had all three of the major company heads on stage at the same time? Like that's his vibe with Game Awards, and I feel like that would be a huge like, whoa,
You'd
Halo,
save
the
Halo
Xbox franchise is on
for the big
PlayStation
stuff.
now.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure that
So,
they would do that
okay.
in the summer.
I
No.
think Gears of War Remaster, I remember it will come out in August. That's what they said. I think they're gonna follow that up in October if we believe the Halo event announcement thingy in October. And I think probably that I would say that's when I would put the Master Chief Collection PS5 port, then actually have a teaser at the Game Awards for the Halo remake.
That's what I was
Something
thinking.
like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. So
But
go ahead.
one more thing, which I think this is also going to complicate things. There, based on leaked documents and stuff like that, a Fallout 3 remake is also in the cards.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right. We
Yeah.
don't know anything about that one. We don't know if it's going to be shadow dropped as well, like Oblivion. I agree with Ashton. I think Xbox has to be careful because they've already, I feel like, recently saturated Game Pass with a lot of great games, honestly. But, too much, maybe.
Yeah, we definitely don't.
Too many good
I don't
games.
see us.
Don't
We're
hear
definitely
that for
gonna
Xbox
see.
often.
Right. We don't see Fallout 3. It's definitely a thing. I think it's definitely going to be a thing. It's going to come out. Oblivion remaster was so huge and is such a success and everything like that. I think Fallout 3 is definitely going to have its time, but I think it's way more likely that it gets coincides closer to like next year after Fallout Season 2 comes out.
Yeah.
Then because you definitely don't. Yeah, Starfield is makes a little bit more sense to like Shadow Drop as a PS5 port now, even though they're both like that and Oblivion are both Bethesda games back to back. Fallout 3, you want it to have its moment, and Oblivion's way too fresh for that for sure. But the
Yeah.
Persona 4 remake is a really weird one because the thing about the Persona 4 is like there's been a lot of the key voice actors from that game that have been coming onto Twitter saying Atlas did not ask me to come back and don't want me back, which is really weird. And they have all said it in the order of the characters in the game, from like the main like best friend character guy down the list from the in the order that you meet them, which is really odd. And they're all saying like the same things, which either means that Atlas is being absolute like assholes for whatever reason, or something else is happening to where they're like, I don't really, it's so weird. Like, why would you market the game getting a remake by having your voice actor say they're not coming back? Like, I don't know. It's really weird, but it has been in the news because of that. And I'm wondering, like, I see, Adrian, you have some things about the rumors on this. Is that what you're talking about, or is there also other stuff substantiating the Persona 4 remake stuff?
So the Persona 4 remake is interesting to me. The rumors, people are already talking about it. You're right. Yuri Lowenthal, uh,
Yeah.
who voiced the character, posted on Twitter. In a sense, kind of people look into it saying indirectly confirming that there might be something. And the other suspicious thing is he immediately removed that tweet. So you cannot find that tweet right now.
Oh,
Okay.
Well, that's a
interesting.
surefire way of saying it's true.
Yeah, so I don't know if because a lot of people are reading into that as well. Not only him, but the other, I think a lady, voice actor, I don't know her name, did the same thing. So who knows?
Very strange. It's very
Yeah.
strange. I think
What's
it'd be
the
exciting, but
what country of origin are these people from? These voice actors?
Oh,
I mean, all over the place.
Western, the West Euro Lowenthal and so Spider-Man's voice actor.
America.
I don't know the
I,
other
I'm
lady.
I'm just wondering if there's any kind of like issues there with like just political issues and everything where they're just like, oh, just let's just
No, I
let's
highly
just not
doubt
do
it.
that.
You don't do that for
Yeah.
Persona. Like,
I was gonna say. So
no, I don't think so. It's so odd. It's a very
yeah.
weird time for that all that happened back to back to back, and it's like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just very strange. If Persona 4 does get announced, so like I played through all of Persona 3. I didn't play the remake because I'm kind of like mid on Persona 3. I think it's like fine. But I did play a good chunk of Persona 4. I haven't finished it because it's so goddamn long. Jesus Christ, these fucking games take forever. But I liked it a lot more. And so if they remade it, as long as they have all the stuff from Golden in there and stuff, and they don't do the thing that they did with 3 where it was just the original and didn't have all the extra stuff they released later, like I'd probably be there and I'd probably play it. But it's just such a weird thing to have all your voice actors be like, "Yeah, I'm not back. They hate me." And I'm like, "What? What's
It's
happening?"
strange.
It's
Yeah.
really
Really
weird. It's
strange.
really weird.
Yeah. And
But
all of them activate. I say that. All of them,
activate.
yeah, exactly.
It's a fucking
Like
Yu-Gi-Oh trap card. You've activated my trap card.
yeah,
Anti
exactly.
voice
At the
actor.
same time, they activate at the same time. Use like similar language. Like no,
Yeah.
and
It's
then
like they
like
planned this.
delete.
It's
I was
weird.
gonna say
Like,
this sounds like they planned it as a group. They all kind of were just like, oh, we should all just say something just to,
I don't
make
know.
a point of
It's
it.
weird. It's weird.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
to wrap up Xbox, because I see Adrian has this here. Fable. Do we think we see any Fable footage here?
Nope.
No,
Nope. They'd say that for Xbox, and I
I
think
think
that
so
it's
too.
too far away.
Is
To
Fable
play
still
this
a
stuff.
thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
It got
Is it?
delayed, right, out of
Really?
Yeah.
its window,
We saw
Yeah.
but
some
it's definitely
leaked
still a thing.
alpha footage as
It's
well.
definitely happening. Like from
Is
what's
Peter
like.
Molyneux behind it?
No.
Okay,
No,
thank God.
it's term 10. So
Thank fuck for
the
that.
the Forza Horizon people,
Oh
the developer.
yeah, oh yeah, yeah. They're
They
going like they're
Yeah, I
going the
found
way
that
of the like
suspicious.
gorilla
Wait,
kind of
what?
thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the race car
Hey,
people.
hey, look, we've
There's
seen
definitely going to be a
companies do that
race like mini
before.
game in there somewhere.
We're gonna have a
All right,
car.
okay.
We've
Horse
seen
racing.
companies just decide to try something new and do a great job. So like,
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
faith.
Gorilla
Maybe that's
literally
why.
did
Maybe
that
that's why
already.
it's taking so long. You know, they've not done
They're
anything
trying
like
something
this
new.
before.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's taking
Perfect Dark. We have seen footage of that before. We saw a little bit of gameplay. What are we thinking?
Sure.
You know what? A
No.
possibility, but I highly doubt it. I think Xbox already kind of fed us a bit with that before. I think
Yeah.
that they're going to take a break for a couple of years now. So
And then lastly I see on here, Adrian, Everwild. Y'all remember Everwild? Remember that
Absolutely
shit?
not.
not that existed. Yes.
The rare game.
Yeah. Yeah. You sound like
No,
you're gonna
I
cry. You're
don't
like that
see
one
it.
game. It's
The rare
gone.
game. I was like actually interested in it, but it's
Yeah.
it's been in development since 2014, y'all. It's
Yeah.
whoa.
Ashton,
Pretty.
I promise deep cuts. This is my deepest
That's
Xbox
a
cut.
fairly deep cut. That's a fairly deep.
Yeah.
It's not the
Yeah.
deepest cut, but it's a fairly. You know what? Here's my wild prediction. This is not going to happen. But if it happened,
If it happens,
okay.
I'll, like,
Here's what I'll
buy
say.
you, like,
Here's what I'll
some
say.
alcohol.
If this prediction that I'm about to say happens, I will buy the next Xbox day one. Okay?
Yo.
This is what.
Okay, yeah.
Yo. Okay.
Bring
We had it
back
on the recording, so
Scalebound. Bring it back.
not gonna
That
happen.
dragon
No,
game.
that's not gonna
Bring it
happen.
back.
That'd
If
be-
it
No
does,
way.
You
I'm
know
buying
what?
an
If
Xbox.
it
If
happens,
it
I'll
came
be
back,
so
Phil,
impressed.
if you're watching, you've got my money. It's waiting for you. Bring Scalebound back.
Dragon
It should have never got
Dra-
canceled.
Dragon games kind of like started and died immediately with that Aragon movie. Like
Fuck the
no
Aragon.
one
Okay, nobody remembers Aragon the movie. Nobody
no one
remembers
wanted
that.
to touch Dragon games after. Like no,
What do you
like
mean? Skyrim's a huge dragon game. What are we talking
Yeah,
about?
I was literally about to
Spyro
say
the
that was around
Dragon
the same
is
time,
huge. You know what I
right?
mean?
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. I see. Well,
Adrian's talking out his bum.
Scalebound. Come on,
Yeah.
Scalebound. We got to see it. I mean, especially Monster Hunter's such a big thing nowadays. Like the
Oh,
dragons
yeah.
are huge. Like, bring it back. Bring it
Yeah.
back.
That's
Bring it
fair,
back.
actually.
Those of you in the comments, you know what the fuck I'm talking about. Bring Scalebound back.
I
All
also have optimism.
gotta, you gotta hope for something in this world, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and
Optimism is
let's go
lies
ahead and shift our gears a little bit, and let's get to Sony. I'm gonna actually start off with Sam because you haven't had a lot to say with Xbox. You know, you're more of a PlayStation guy. What are you thinking we might see from PlayStation here? Because they are on the partner side here. We probably are going to see at least something. Like, let me pitch this to you. Will we see?
No, don't say it.
Will
Don't say it.
we
Don't
see
say
Marathon?
I kind of feel like
Your most
the only
anticipated game.
reason I kind of feel like that the only reason why they're on that list was because of Marathon, and now Marathon is basically fucked. They're not going to have anything. Like on the list, I guess I'm fucking looking at the list here. Death Stranding 2, sure, why not? I mean, Kojima and Jeff are basically fucking each other at this point. Bloodborne remake, haha, not because
Let's
of.
go.
Never gonna happen.
We already have that. It's called Duskbloods. What are we talking about?
Ghost of
Yeah, that's
Yotze, he's probably going to show something for Ghost of Yotze, or they'll probably keep it for one of those awful state of plays that they do. Which I'll be honest with you, they're the worst ones. Okay, so
You
they
think State
beat
of Play is the
they're
worst?
they're worse
Oh,
than
I
some of-
agree.
They are corporate as fuck. I hate every single
100%.
second of
I don't
it.
like them.
I hate them. I hate them.
There's
so
nothing,
much.
anything. There's never anything cool in them. The best state
No.
of plays are the ones where they just focus on one game exactly, and that's not even like that's just a way to like if you're really hyped for the game, get more excited for it. But when they're like, oh, we're gonna show a few things, I'm like, you are not gonna show a single thing I care
No.
about. Like,
No. The one thing that I will say, which Adrian's put down here, which I would love to see, is the Resident Evil 9 teaser, because it has been quite long since the last one, and there's not really been anything that's been talked about besides from, oh yeah, we're making it, and I'm like, fucking nice, well done, great, that's good confirmation. I'll be honest with you, we'll keep this section really short. They're not going to show anything. They're really not. I do have a theory that it was going to be Marathon, but now that Marathon's basically
They
I
really
don't
screwed
know.
up. Their PR
Yeah.
is a bit, on
Mhm.
the
it makes me sad because that's not the Bungie that I remember.
yeah,
That's
they're
just-
different people now. This is the problem: is that we
Yep.
talk about companies and developers and being like, it's these people, and it's like, yeah, but how many of the people
They're not the same.
are still there? You know?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
definitely
Even
true.
even when you've got the older Halo developers like Jamie Griezmer, like literally saying what Bungie are doing right now is fucking awful. then yeah, it's basically it's just because what's his name now? Pete Parsons just wants another fucking car. That's all it is. That's the only reason why that company's staying alive, just because he wants another Lamborghini. Um, yeah, so I think he was most likely going to be marathon. I don't know. They'll fucking show a new Helldivers Battle Pass.
I really, it's really funny because we sit here and we take the piss out of Xbox all the time for not having games, right? But
I think
it
the
really
worst.
is. It does feel like Sony is really on the struggle bus. They've got like things on the horizon, but games take so long to develop now, and
So
you know,
I'm
ugh.
just gonna
Well, I
I'm just
mean,
gonna go on like a little tangent for a second, right? Just completely separate from Summer Game Fest, right? I am losing faith in PlayStation because I just don't think that what they're developing is good enough. I don't think what they're giving me is good enough. I think I don't know if I mentioned it to you all or I might mention it
I
to
think you
somebody
did
else,
the other
but
week, yeah,
yeah.
briefly.
So I bought PC Game Pass. Ashton, I recommend PC Game Pass. Okay.
Told you it's really good.
What they give me for 9.99 a month is far better than what I'm paying 120 a year for Sony. Sony give me I don't know, Bug Snacks, which is great. It's a good game. I'm not gonna
Bugsnax.
lie. It's a
I've
great
seen you
game.
playing it. You've been playing
Great. It's
it.
great. It's a great game.
yeah.
It's a fantastic game. Recommend. But even so, like that's one good game out of 150 mediocre or plain bad ones.
Yeah.
And they don't even give you like the day one releases. They've actually taken things away from the PlayStation Plus so they can resell it to you and say, "Oh, look, now the windows reflect you when you're near them." Oh, fucking great. 80 dollars, fantastic. Um, and I find that a bit I just find it scummy. And I actually mentioned to my friend, like, because my friend asked the same question, like, PC, do you think Game Pass or PlayStation Plus is better? And I said, like, it depends what you're
Is that a
looking
question?
for. It depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for content, if you're looking for a variety of things, Game Pass is better. If you're looking for top quality shit, then PlayStation Plus is where
I
it's
mean,
at.
Xbox has got some top quality shit. Look at Clair Obscur Expedition 33.
Yeah, but that's also on PlayStation as well.
I know, but it's on Game Pass. Is it on the state? Is it on the
Hell
actual
no.
like
Is
thing?
it?
Hell no.
Fuck.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
If it was
Hey,
on there, I
hey,
would have
we gotta
played
hit,
it
we
Xbox
gotta
is
already.
hit, we gotta
begging
put
Oh,
the
this is
for
brakes.
a
We
you.
gotta press the
console
brakes.
war.
We gotta put the brakes. This needs to
Right.
be this would be a different thing.
Yeah,
We gotta
yeah,
get back to
Yeah,
Summer
yeah.
Games Fest. Gotta get back to
Come
Summer
back to
Games
it.
Fest. We
Yeah,
gotta get the
bomb
PlayStation.
bomb line. Sony ain't gonna.
We're professionals. Come on.
Sony ain't gonna. I can't fucking speak now. Sony is not gonna. Sony isn't gonna show
Wow.
anything.
Sony's choke
No.
holding you right now, being like, "Stop
Yeah.
talking, stop." So here's what I'll say. There are three things that we know exist from Sony that have, I don't know, a 1% chance of showing up. Maybe not even that.
Okay.
Wolverine. Do
No,
we think there's any chance that it shows up?
no. They're
Game
gonna
Oh,
over.
save
well,
it for a
fuck.
state of
Xbox
play.
was doing Blade, wasn't it? I forgot about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see what
That's
happens
not
with
gonna show anything.
that.
Arcane. Oopsie poopsie. Let's hope they're okay.
Intergalactic. Probably not going to see anything
No.
Too far away.
anywhere
Yeah.
close.
Save it for a state of play.
Yeah.
And then the one that's probably the most likely, but still not very likely, Ceros, the Housemarque game following up Returnal, that we
Oh,
saw
I
at the end
remember.
of
What?
Game Awards.
The one with the sand or something.
Yeah,
Like
the,
what?
Oh,
it's
that
like
one that
Returnal but
absolutely showed
sandy.
nothing off.
Yeah, it showed
Yeah, I
nothing.
love that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe, but yeah, probably nothing from Sony on that front.
Yeah.
On that front. But
Yeah, they're just some dude in the
following
desert.
back up from Sam, Resident Evil 9, right?
please.
That definitely has a chance, but I also think what's up? Obviously, I don't give a shit about Resident Evil. I'm not a horror game guy, but
I love
Dave.
it.
something that Capcom does that I am very interested in, and I would flip my gourd if it got announced, is Devil May Cry 6.
Oh,
I would flip my shit if Devil May Cry 6 would come out, because let's see, Devil May Cry 5 came out like quite a while ago, if I remember correctly, like 2019.
2013
It's
or
been a
something.
minute.
2019.
2019? Jesus
It's
Christ,
been
I
a
was
minute.
older.
It's been no, it's been a minute.
Jesus.
I like how the
And
top
that game's
question
great.
was
Still
DMC
6 years
5 a
ago.
success?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the top question when I put in DMC 5. Top question is, was DMC 5 a success? I like that.
Oh well, I don't know.
Yeah,
I
they
don't know
won
what those
Several
numbers fucking-
awards. There we go.
Several. So Devil May Cry 6, I would love to see that from Capcom. Any other? We already got Monster Hunter Wilds just released, so I mean maybe they'll start hinting at DLC, but probably not, right? Like Capcom's
Street
kind of done
Fighter
with that.
6 DLC maybe.
That's a good pull, like a character or something. Yep, Street Fighter 6, and then Pie in the Sky, Capcom, like definitely not happening. But Pie in the Sky, Marvel vs. Capcom, like 5 or whatever we're on now. Yeah, it'd be 5. Yeah, it'd be 5 because they just did the collection with 2 coming back and stuff like that. We're pretty far removed from Marvel's Capcom Infinite. So like maybe bring it back. I would be happy about it, but probably not. We'll see. We'll see.
I
Um,
would love to see, but it's probably not going to happen. If we're talking about Capcom, I'd love to see a new Dead Rising, but it's never
mm,
going to happen because the fourth one just buried it about 70 feet under.
Yeah.
that's
So
unfortunate.
yeah,
That's
but
unfortunate.
the remake for the first one came out, and that was good.
There you go.
So you never know.
Maybe it brought it back. Maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Mm.
I will say we're almost certainly going to see Death Stranding too, right? Like
Yeah.
we already know that the there's going to be 2 days after the event. There's going to be like a game premiere, show or whatever for exactly Death Stranding 2 on June 8th. That got announced today, I believe, uh, as of the recording of this episode. And so I'm almost certain that Jeff's gonna bring out his daddy Kojima onto the stage, and we're gonna have like 10 minutes of Death Stranding 2, and I'm not gonna know what the fuck is going on, and I'm gonna be like, this looks
Yeah.
super cool, but I'll get to it eventually, I guess. But we'll definitely see Death Stranding 2
Just a
for sure,
baby
for
and a
sure.
lot of crying.
A lot of weird stuff, man. I know something.
Yeah.
He's an interesting fella. All right, now we get to some of I think the more interesting stuff. The other publisher, the third parties, right? And I'm going to start us off because I have a prediction. I think that we are going to see Kingdom Hearts 4 at Summer Games Fest because we just had 2 voice actors come out and say that they had just finished or were in the process of doing voice acting, right? We had one guy who we don't know what character he would be playing as, but he said he finished wrapping his recordings for Kingdom Hearts specifically. He called that out. And then we had the voice of Cloud say that he was doing voice acting. Now, that could be Remake Part 3, but I think it's a little too soon for that. Kingdom Hearts 4 is a little bit deeper in its development, and we saw them at the end of or during the Kingdom Hearts 4 or 3 DLC. The Final Fantasy characters show back up again because they kind of were absent from 3, and people were really upset by that. So it's not unheard of for Cloud. Cloud is a pretty key Kingdom Hearts character or Final Fantasy character in Kingdom Hearts. So seeing Cloud show up is definitely something that could super happen. And so Kingdom Hearts 4, I'm crossing my fingers. There is Tokyo Game Show later this year, which probably has a higher likelihood to have Kingdom Hearts 4 in it. But I do think I've kind of dropped my idea that Kingdom Hearts 4 is this year. It's not going to happen release this year, but I think we're definitely going to see something from it this year. And I would really, really love if Summer Games Fest was at least just like a little morsel. Just give me a tiny little morsel. But honestly, the voice actors are like all I'm really going off of. So that's my first like third party prediction. Square Enix is on the list of partners. So we're not going to see a Final Fantasy probably, or at least not a remake or Rebirth Part 3 or whatever. So what else Square Enix going to have? That might be one of them.
I'll tell you what, I agree with you. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 might get a teaser or a new trailer. And they're probably gonna push Dragon Quest 12, because they've been working on that for years now, to the Tokyo Game Show, because Dragon Quest is a institution in Japan. So I think they might try to do that. What I would say is Final Fantasy 16 Xbox port announcement. I
Mm,
think that might be something that is possible because we know Square Enix is trying to branch out to Xbox, and they announced that as well.
yeah.
And besides that, nothing else. Honestly, I don't. I put some predictions on the list that you're probably seeing, but yeah, I think that's as most as we can get.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely there, but I mean, Final Fantasy 9 remake, probably too. I don't think we see another remake of a Final Fantasy game until the 7 trilogy's over. I think it's just not really like what team are they going to have doing that would do it justice. Like, I don't see that happening. I do see interesting here a new Nier game. It has been a while. I don't really know that they've. I don't really follow the Nier develop like all them people all that much, but they got to be working on something, right? Nier is like
Supposedly, yeah.
Nier Automata is a huge game, so like
Yes.
it's got to be. I mean, Nier even like has crossovers and stuff all the time. So 2B is a huge character. Like we're probably gonna see that, right? So I think that's fair. I think that's fair. Another one that I'll put out. Let's go ahead and talk about CD Projekt Red real quick. Because they got some stuff going on. Like they got some stuff going on. They just announced just a few days ago or something that Cyberpunk 2077 has a sequel that's now in pre-production or whatever. So that's kind of just them saying, "Hey, Cyberpunk was good and like successful enough that we're gonna make a sequel, but we're definitely not. Obviously, it's pre-production. We're not gonna see anything from that. So the two options would be Witcher 4, or which we've already seen, or a Witcher 1 remake. And
That's what
I'm
I
kind of
want.
curious what you guys think about those two because I've struggled with which one would come out first between a Witcher remake and a Witcher 4. I'm kind of curious what you guys think about, which one was more likely to be seen at Summer Games Fest and which one would come first.
Probably The Witcher 4 because you've
Yeah.
already seen a trailer for it. The Witcher
Right.
1 remake is not actually, as I don't even know if it's like had an announcement trailer or whatever.
Yeah, we know they're working
No.
on it, but they haven't showed anything.
There's rumors, right? So there's rumors. So there's nothing actually concrete that's been shown off. I mean, to be fair, you might very well get both of them if you're lucky. If things work out, if you may very well get lucky and get both of them. But the more likely is probably the fourth installment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think not necessarily a remake of the first one, but they could easily hire another studio to work on a Oblivion type, whatever, remaster remake
Mm-hmm.
for the first one. So not, I mean, to be honest, Oblivion, I can call it a remake, but they may want to tone it down and be like more of an HD remaster of the first one. So in my mind, they'll probably show something else related to Witcher 4, maybe even a snippet of gameplay in progress, whatever, and top it off with an announcement that, hey, by the way, Witcher 1 remaster, remake, something like that.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's probably fair. I would love Witcher 1 remastered sooner because, I think it would. My hot take is that game does not hold up very well.
Or
Um,
the first two as a bundle, like a remaster of 1 and 2,
they're so different in how they
right?
play.
Yeah.
I think it'd be hard to do that unless you kind of like rebuild all of them from the ground up, which I don't think they're gonna
Mm.
do. I think if you remaster 1, that's probably enough because 2, by modern sensibilities, is a little tougher to play, but it's not nearly as hard to get through as 1
Yeah.
is.
Doesn't
Yeah.
one just play like absolute ass? Isn't it just like
It's
garbage?
very old and kind
Yeah.
of
It's
janky and
old.
stuff. It's
Yeah.
it's old. It's very old, and
So
the
just looking
characters look like dog shit.
Just looking at the Steam page for The Witcher 1, the enhanced edition, the remake was officially announced on October 26, 2022. So technically, you you might see something. You
I'd like it.
potentially could do.
I feel like we got the big shebang of The Witcher. Now they're going to take a little break for a little bit. I don't know. I would love to see The Witcher 1 and not The Witcher 4 being talked about, but
Yeah,
Mm.
agreed. I mean, obviously, I'm really excited for Witcher 4, but like,
yeah.
that's gonna be such a big game, and like Witcher 1 isn't nearly as large in scope as Witcher 4, so I feel like that might be a point to lend to a Witcher remake being first because it is smaller, so it theoretically
Also,
wouldn't take as
I
much
think
time.
it's a really good way to kind of, kickstart the whole Witcher thing again because I think the
Yeah.
Netflix show has absolutely tanked it.
Yeah. Oh my
Well,
God.
I think that doing The Witcher 1 will make people like, I'm not like a massive fan, but I really appreciate, the games and the series while it lasted and the books. So I think that it'll be really nice for people to go back into 1 and then kind of go through from that because 2's still
Agreed.
playable. So
Never
Agreed.
played any of them.
Yeah. Maybe don't until Witcher 1 remake.
yeah,
And then give it a
Yeah.
shot.
I have them.
maybe that's your moment. So
I have them in my library, but I just
Don't do
never
Witcher
played
1
them.
yet. That's
Don't do
my
it
God.
yet.
You will
I
Yeah.
never play a
don't
Witcher game
know.
again. You will never
I
play it
don't
again.
It's like me with Gears of War 1. I wanted to start the trilogy. I never played them. So now I'm basically waiting for the remaster remake of 1, which is
Here's the
coming out
thing,
in
it
August.
already did get a remaster.
That's
It
what
got
I've been
the Ultimate
thinking.
Yeah, they
Edition,
did.
and
Yeah.
now they're remastering it again. So I'm
Again.
like,
Yeah.
okay, when do we stop this bullshit?
Never. Be
When people stop
remastered.
buying it, I guess,
Yeah.
That's true.
you know.
So it's more a
Um,
remake, I think. Yes.
Well, we'll just have to wait and see.
all right. So we've got, and I have this on my own list that I have off to the side here. I didn't add it to our show doc, but I see Adrian also has it. Do we finally see the 007 project from IO Interactive
I was
here
about
at
to
Summer
bring that
Games
up.
Fest?
Yes, please. Yes, please. Please. That or more Hitman. I will take whichever. I
Mhm.
just want to sneak around and shoot people and dress up. It's fun.
So
So
Project
whichever one.
007, I think we probably will see something because it's time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
been going on. They've been forthcoming to the sense that, oh yeah, teasing it, we're teasing it. I think it's time for announcement, even a teaser, 007. So this is by IO Interactive. I think that's
Yeah.
correct. How I'm
Those are the Hitman
pronouncing.
people, yeah.
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 I loved the new Hitmans. I thought they were fantastic. I honestly had such a good time. I
Mm.
try to go back in 100% areas and then I take a break for a few months and then I go back in. So I'm just honestly, I absolutely love them. I think they're great. So
You know
Which
what's
James
interesting?
Bond do you think it'll be?
Ooh, I think
a
it'd be a
new
new
one,
one, a brand new
A
yeah,
one.
new
Yeah,
they
one.
can make their
Yeah,
own one up.
yeah.
Yeah,
Don't bring
absolutely a
in the
new.
celebrities. Don't.
No,
no,
no.
All of
don't
them.
need them.
You can play as all of them.
All of them.
Different
I'm
skins
sure.
and everything.
Yeah, maybe if they're different skins. Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was gonna
Oh,
say just
that'd
get
be
the Henry
good.
Cavill dream that everyone wants. So many people wanted Henry Cavill as
They
James
they
Bond for a while.
could.
So
He'd
Yeah.
be good.
he's a
I
gamer
was
and he loves it. So yeah.
I was about to add to Nicole with this
I
one.
still want Idris Elba personally.
Oh yeah.
Hmm.
With Hitman, it's interesting to me. There's not much discussion generally in, I don't know, gaming community right now about Hitman. But if you look at the player count and stuff, it is actually
Oh, it's
right now
awesome.
it's one of the most successful games out there, the
Yeah,
player
because
count. And yet
it's super fun.
somehow we don't talk more about it. It's
I,
just,
I think because it's not like a really truly online experience, you know. A lot of people
yeah,
like to go back in and do the different like assassination missions because they constantly add new things that you can
they
do
added,
and try and like beat those, and that adds a level of fun. But also it takes forever to try and 100% the game because you've got to like redo entire areas a bajillion times and get the targets every different way.
Mm-hmm.
I've my favorite's the mansion where you can just shoot the old lady from a mile away and shoot her into her she falls into her own grave. It's amazing.
Is this
Um,
Hitman World of Assassination?
yeah, but
Right, okay.
what I find weird about Hitman actually super weird is that if you like buy each individual game, you can get the achievements in each individual game. But then you can also get it all where you just buy like the one Hitman thing that's on Game Pass actually, and so you can play
I
them all in one bundle. It's super weird.
I remember playing the first one, like literally all the way back,
Oh
Codename
gosh.
37. I remember I had it on an old PC, all like what you call that, hard copy, whatever.
Oh
I played
man.
the second
Jeez.
one, which was Silent Assassin, they literally call like
Mm,
that. I played the third one, which I remember fondly because it has an asylum mission in Romania and people are talking Romanian.
yeah.
And I played what's the fourth one?
Of
Absolution, is
Blood
that what
Money and
I'm?
Absolution. Yeah.
Yeah, I played those ones too. So in a sense, it's strange to me because I never think about Hitman like I used to. But on paper, I played probably all of them,
Because it's good.
which is funny.
It's like the silent assassin. You know, he just comes in and does a really
Literally.
good job, and it's so
Literally,
quiet. And I love it. It's one of those ones that flies under the radar, and it's quite good actually. Like it's sad because it deserves more attention, but it's quite
yeah.
good because it never gets any like flack or anything. Like it's just doing Hitman, and I'm okay with it. You know, I
Yeah.
honestly I think those games are some of the most fun. I love stealth, and I love nothing more than trying to like looking at like a situation and going, right, if I come in this way, how do I do this? Like a little puzzle.
Yeah.
And it's just so exciting. I love it so much. I think it's great. And I think that James Bond is like perfect for them. And the last time they actually released a game was like a Hitman game was yonks ago. So, you know, chop chop guys.
Definitely.
Because
Definitely. I think
it's
it's we're getting there.
I
I
think
think
it's
for sure.
happening.
Yeah,
I think
I
it's
think so.
happening.
And it's also I think I don't really know how wide the scope for like Hitman 3 was because I always kind of view Hitman as very isolated small maps that you go and explore and stuff. But I could see 007 really opening that up a little bit because, like, what do you think about when you think about James Bond? You think about the style, you think about the car, you think about like the
Mm.
I don't like the it just feels like a bigger scope. Like you'd have to have a car, you have to have an
Yeah.
Aston Martin in there somewhere where you're driving it around, you're doing things like I don't know. I'm not saying like open world, but like
No, but
I
you're
could see
right.
them. Like, he's not
Hitman's
like killing people like an
no.
assassin does. So it'd definitely be gadgets, stuff like that. Like I could see them having really a lot of fun branching out with that.
Yeah, Hitman is definitely like you have like one big area. Like you get like a mansion and then all the surrounding fields and stuff. And like there's like a vineyard you can go to and do that, or like another mansion which is an old lady's house. I would love to definitely have it where you have like more vehicle options and you can kind of stop places on the way and futz around there and find your way through. I think that's Yeah, I think that's a good a way to open it up a little bit.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. So let's see. What else could we possibly see? Or we see Amazon is going to have a presence at Summer Games Fest. Adrian, what do you think Amazon might be doing over here? Because we know that, I mean, probably like, I think probably like a New World expansion or something like that, right? Like they're still trying to keep that game alive, I think. Probably.
Yeah, well, I don't know anything about that game actually, but I'll tell you that a lot of people are thinking about the Tomb Raider reboot, which has been supposedly in production for some time again. And since Amazon is there, a lot of people are speculating, oh, maybe we'll finally see a teaser or something like that. So the Tomb Raider, I think they're going back, literally rebooting the series, which is going to be interesting. I was
Again,
never really a Tomb Raider fan. I don't know why I prefer Uncharted, even though they play very similar. But yeah, I never really got into Tomb Raider as much.
as a haver of a vagina, I really like Tomb Raider because she was a girl. I never got to play as a girl. It was very cool. I am a huge fan of the idea of rebooting Tomb Raider again because they really fucked up the most recent ending to the most recent series. So I think just do it again. It's also a series I don't mind getting rebooted into oblivion because the through line is always there, which is like she's rich, mummy and daddy are rich, mummy dies, dad is sad, dad eventually dies, she does all the raiding. It's just always
Spoiler.
goes the same way. Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers
But
for
usually
all of them.
both her parents are dead when you start the game, and then it flashes back to when they weren't dead, and that's how like each game, each series kind of dabbles on. It's like my mom and dad left me all this stuff. I better go deal with it. So
Okay, so I see it right here. Crystal Dynamics is working on a new Tomb Raider game, which is described as being a refresh and soft reboot of the franchise.
There
Well,
you go
There you
then.
go.
something like
It's where
that.
we see it. Will we see it? Maybe a small little teaser like the Splinter Cell one that we got from Ubisoft a while back. Or like
nothing's
recently they
happening
just
with
posted that weird PS2 image or whatever, like Xbox image from like yesterday on
I
Twitter,
don't
and it looked
trust
Okay.
awful.
Ubisoft. Everything's going under for them. It's
Okay, so
also
so
what the
I
hell happened to
have
Prince of Persia? You think that's going to rear its ugly head? I really want
Well,
the
I
new
don't think
Prince of
Ubisoft's
Persia.
here is the thing with any
no,
of those.
Yeah,
Ubisoft is not making a show.
of course
Is not making an appearance here.
they have nothing to show.
But okay, they're not attending. And yesterday, at the time of this recording, they published a Splinter Cell remake, not remake, sorry, I'm saying it wrong. A photo of Sam Fisher, a
So,
PS2 era, I don't know,
So,
looks
so
really
I just want to
good.
say that a few years ago,
Yeah.
they did a cheeky photo of Sam Fisher. Years ago, Ubisoft posted it, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, we're getting Splinter Cell!" And I was like, "Nah, just you can play as him as an operator in Rainbow Six Siege." And
Ah,
everyone was so disappointed. And so I'm just waiting for them to do something crazy where they're like, "We're actually just redoing Sam Fisher and like changing the way his
an
character works.
anime.
Agent Zero is going to be doing something different." Yeah,
We're
like
doing an anime, but it's true that we know that Splinter Cell is a game that is being worked on.
I mean,
So
yeah, but you
maybe
know
it
what was
is.
also been worked on? Bloody the Prince of Persia game for the last like
We
6
did get,
years.
we did get. I think it
Oh,
was a release date on that not too long ago. They posted an image, and it was just like, it's
I mean, we
here.
had a release date
We're
years
happening.
ago as well, and then they pushed it
I'll
back
tell.
like infinitely. So,
Yeah.
you
I'll
know,
tell you what, if we get a Splinter Cell remake announcement, I think most likely
eat my
we'll probably
words.
see it at the Xbox showcase
Yeah.
because historically Splinter Cell has been associated with Xbox. I think the
I
first
have my
one,
original copies on
oh my
Xbox,
God,
yeah.
you have it?
I have
She,
them. Yeah, I can go get them if you want, but it's take me a minute.
oh,
Shall I do
um,
it? Shall I get them out?
do it, do it. I'm
Carry
really
on, carry
excited
on.
to
Let me
see
grab it. Carry on.
because the first one is Xbox
Yeah,
exclusive, right? All the way
they typically
2002. Oh
have
my
been
God.
until, yeah. But like Ubisoft usually does their own showcase, right? Like
Yeah.
eventually, like so. I feel like a Ubisoft Play or whatever they call it. I think we don't really see anything from them until that, right? Like
Mm.
I don't really see them putting it anywhere else because they like to have their own spot, unless it's like Just Dance or something, because we know
Yeah.
like they like to have that on there.
I
Um,
think it's a big series that they could reboot. I think if they wanted to do it, they would probably do it at their show or the Game Awards, because
yeah.
you know.
But outside of that, the other big ones, like we're probably not gonna see GTA 6. Probably not going to see Half-Life 3, even though Steam's on here, but not Valve. So like, whatever. That's not going to happen.
Probably.
It's GTA doesn't need it. But I do see Adrian. You have on here a Mass Effect teaser. I highly doubt we see that because EA's not even
Probably not.
here.
That'd be cool.
So
Oh, there we
there's the
go.
OG.
Like Nicole's
There's the
back.
OG.
Look
There's the
at that.
OG.
Oh my God.
Look at that Ubisoft logo.
Old
Oh,
Ew.
school. Old
Ew,
school.
get it
Ugh.
away. Get it away.
what a
Old school
game.
stuff.
One player in-game Dolby Digital, and that's all. I
Holy
really have.
shit, Dolby Digital. Whoa.
Can
That's
you
Wow.
believe it?
Legendary. Legendary.
That's
There it
beautiful.
is.
Oh, look at
You know,
that.
I'm
Complete
looking at
inbox.
I'm still looking at this whole like 2025 partners thing, and there are a lot of fucking game companies. I have no idea who these things are. I have no idea who these game companies are. Like for example, Megabit. Who's Megabit? What have they done? Anyone know
Well,
what
there's
games
a
they
couple
make?
that aren't. So I am 8-bit on there. They aren't a video game developer. They make merch and stuff. They collaborate with lots of like developers, including indies. So they did like all the Ori and the Blind Forest soundtracks and stuff. And they do a lot of
Okay.
vinyls. And I've got them all here.
That just kind of makes you think like what are they going to be announcing then?
I think
If
they're
they're
just
mostly a
partnering
merch store.
with them. Yeah, they're mostly a merch store. I don't think they're going to be announcing anything. I think
Because
they're
there's just
they're
like loads of game
collaborating.
companies here, like I don't know how you pronounce that. Kakao Games, Kinetic Games, Kuro Games.
Well,
Yeah.
isn't Summer Games Fest actually like a physical thing where people actually
It
like
is,
can
Yeah.
attend?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
do you think they just have an area outside where you can buy merch and that's what those ones are for?
It could be, yeah.
Potentially, yeah,
No, I mean, I think like some of these are just like Sam, you were just talking about at the beginning of this podcast, smaller studios getting their time, right? I mean, we see
Yeah,
like
yeah.
on here we've got like Yacht Club at the very end in the bottom right corner of that image. Like obviously indie game studio that more people know now just because Shovel Knight was so massive, but we're probably going to finally see Mina the Hallower at Summer Games Fest because that's what they've been working on after Shovel Knight, and people have been waiting to see that game again, and they're here. So now seems like the perfect time to see it, and I think a lot of these other studios are either are just producing more stuff that's a little bit smaller or double A and stuff like that we'll see. You know how Jeff Keighley, like all these shows always have sections in them where we see a like flash cut of a bunch of smaller titles,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and like
Like,
there's
all of
something there
these.
for somebody, but that won't be for you and it won't be for this person, but like trying to just capture somebody's attention. So I think
Yeah.
a good chunk of these are going to be that kind of vibe,
This
right?
is round one, right? So we have another round incoming
Yeah,
of
I think
stuff.
there's gonna be
Yeah.
more.
Yeah,
So
so
it's more. I think you're gonna post more about that. But
yeah.
Silk Song,
Yeah.
No.
no
I wouldn't
Silk
say
Song.
that. Absolutely not. Team Cherry's not even
I-
here. If they were, they'd probably be with these guys.
Well, the
Like,
thing we're saying they're not here, so like, what is round two going to be like the smaller people, or is it going to be
How many
other big
rounds will there
ones?
be?
I have no
Yeah.
idea. Jeff's just doing his own
16
thing. I'm not worried about that.
partners.
We're
Yeah,
gonna have
'cause
to.
They-
So one of the things he hasn't mentioned is so the guys who make Dead by Daylight, they're usually present. They Summer Games Fest is when Nick Cage came out to announce the Nick Cage DLC for Dead
Oh,
by
right.
Daylight.
Right.
Dead by Daylight's anniversary is coming up. They've got a new collaborations with like Five Nights at Freddy's and everything. And so I really like, usually Summer Game Fest is where Dead by Daylight, because it's the anniversary is around June, July every year, is where they go ham and they announce crazy stuff. So I feel like they're not announced yet as being partners, but like I'd like them to be because they're usually there. So
And the game that I tend to confuse Dead by Daylight with because I just haven't played them, Dying Light. The people there are here, Techland,
How the hell
and
can you confuse that?
yeah,
Dying Light, Dead by Daylight. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, get
Outer
over it.
Worlds, Outer Wilds. Give me a break. Give me a break.
Eh,
But we know they've been working on, they're also the Dead Island people from back in the day. They've been working on a apparently AAA open world fantasy game. So maybe we'll see that here and see how they can shift from zombies to a, fantasy game that will probably still have zombies in it.
yeah. I just want to say as well, they haven't like mentioned Remedy on here, but 505 Games / Epic Games is here, and so
Okay.
like they publish these games. Like, so I'm wondering
You
if
think we
are
see
gonna get-
Firebreak here, maybe?
100%, I think we're going to see Firebreak.
yeah.
It's coming soon.
Really?
So they
Okay.
haven't
Right.
announced Remedy yet, but 505 Games is on here and they publish them. So I feel like Jeff Keighley's like giving us 505, then he's going to be like, Remedy. So,
Right.
I smell it. Also, he needs Sam Lake to come out and dance every time he enters a room now. So,
True.
It's 2K games there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about Borderlands 4 gameplay?
Oh, don't get me
Probably
started.
Randy will show up on stage and it's gonna be annoying, and he's gonna say you're all poor and you hate
Like
Borderlands if you don't buy
honestly,
it.
who says that? It's like if you're a real fan, you'd find the money. It's like fuck off. What's your problem? Like you know what? This is the reason I have Game Pass is because I'm poor. So
Just a reminder, everyone, games are a business at the end of the day. If you don't have
yeah,
$80, then you must not be a true fan.
yeah.
And
Exactly.
that's fine if you're
Exactly.
not. Just
It's
buy
so fucked
something
up,
better.
man. That's just whatever. This isn't a Randy pitch for a fucking podcast, but that's so fucked up.
It
Okay.
is.
But I see, Adrian, you're heading towards Mafia, right? I know you're a big
Oh, yeah.
Mafia guy.
Ah, Adrian, the Mafia man. Yeah.
I'm the
Mafia.
Mafia man. I have no affiliation with the actual mob, just to say.
That's
But
somebody who
I'm
was in the
excited.
mob would say. Like somebody would say that.
Break
But
his fucking legs.
but Mafia, the old country, has to be there.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's coming out, when is it, in August or something
Yep.
like that? So the game
Pre-ordered
is,
it.
yeah, very
Oh,
nice.
nice.
Okay, but yeah, it has to be there. This is their final chance to actually show, show their stuff. The other big thing, if we're talking,
Wait. I'm gonna stop you there because I have something for the last one you want to say. But real
Oh.
quick, because I want to kind of wrap up the show here. Sega is here, and I think we're gonna see that. Remember that Sonic Racing Crossworlds thing? They had Shadow. It was at Game Awards last year. New Sonic Racing game. We're probably gonna see that from Sega here. I doubt we see Sonic Frontiers 2. But I mean, maybe if they want to really make a big splash. But I think the biggest thing, and my prediction, exactly my prediction, and I deserve, I don't know, a free pizza if I get this right. I
Pizza
think,
party.
heading towards what Adrian was about to say, I think the new BioShock will be announced here at Summer Games Fest, and it will close the show. It'll be the last
Ooh.
thing.
Who are the
Like,
developers
boom.
on the new Bioshock game? What's the company?
I wrote about this, but I forgot.
I don't know.
Somebody.
Cloud Chamber,
That's
Bioshock
right.
4. There we go.
Yep,
Ooh.
Cloud Chamber.
Hmm.
So yeah, that's what I think because we know that they've been doing it. They know they've been working on it for a long time, and they've been talking about how it's coming along, and we're waiting on it. I mean, I think if you're gonna have a big announcement to close out the show, because Jeff likes to do that, I think bringing BioShock back from the dead is like a huge way to do it. And we've seen even leaked images of like gameplay from whatever this new BioShock is supposed to be. So we know that they've at least gotten to the stage where they can, play the game a little bit, and that was a while ago. So I'm thinking BioShock 4 or a reboot or whatever they want to call it. I think if it's there, it's going to be like the last thing. It's going to
Is
close
it
the
a
show.
remake or
Hmm.
reboot?
I think
No,
I don't know if it's
continuation. It's
Yeah,
Bioshock
I think it's a
4.
4. I think it's 4.
But don't ruin something perfect. No need to touch Bioshock. I'm gonna die on the hill if you leave it alone. 1, 2, infinite, done, bang. Stupid.
Well, see, Infinite was bad, so they need to
Shut
go back
up!
and fix it.
No, it's not. Stop saying that.
Gotta go back to
Speaking-
Rapture,
Speaking of
Okay,
Bioshock, though,
I'll tell you something interesting right now that I found
Okay.
out about BioShock.
and then I'm
okay?
gonna say my little
Entitled
final piece.
BioShock game. So this new studio, right? Apparently has several members that were part of the original BioShock game are now part of this studio. I'm not gonna name them. So I don't know. Honestly, to me, I'll probably do a reboot and create a new series because I
Absolutely
don't know
no
how
need.
many people would remember Infinite and
Would
so
you
on.
kindly?
Would you?
So I want to say, while we're on the words of the fantastic Ken Levine, he had that game Judas, right? It was announced for a release apparently
True.
planned for like March of 2025. Where is it? His company hasn't been announced, but I feel like incoming this year maybe a little something. So,
That's true. Could be.
I don't
Could
like
be.
BioShock 1.
I'm Bioshock Infinite till the day I die. I like
Oh.
Bioshock 1, but Infinite's better.
No, I don't like BioShock 1.
Yeah.
Give me on a game fight and I'll win.
Yeah.
Which Bioshock? Oh my god, we should actually have this. Yeah. Let Ben or
I'll
Adrian
save it
or
for the future.
someone
I'll surprise
throw
I'll
in
surprise you.
post.
I'll surprise you.
Yeah.
I like
Uh,
BioShock 1, but I never played 2 or the other ones. I just never got
2 or Infinite. There's only 3, Adrian.
how
2
many?
or the other ones. Yeah,
Okay,
there's
so
just
I
3.
never
There's just 3.
played I never played the other two. Then it
Well,
never really got me.
Adrian, Infinite is like one of the greatest things you'll ever play, and the DLC is awesome. Anyway,
It's
we're not
not.
talking about that. We'll
It's
talk about
not.
it. Shut up.
Is it on Game Pass?
No, but it's cheap as hell. Cheap as
Okay.
chips.
Yeah, the
mate.
collection is like super cheap. You can pick it up
Yeah,
whenever.
cheap as chips.
Just
But-
one thing I want to mention as well, just before we kind of wrap everything up. I'm happy to see Day of the Devs on that
Absolutely.
list.
Yeah.
And just going back to what I was saying in the beginning, I do think it's important for them to get their due indie games. And just looking at the view counts on YouTube, I'm kind of a bit sad to see that not that many people watch it. But I always tune in to see what kind of indie games are there. It's just nice to see that they're still going and that they're going to be a partner on Summer Games Fest.
And I will say the last thing, Nintendo, it shows Nintendo Switch 2 on the thing here. Do we think we actually see anything about the Switch 2 or any games from Nintendo whatsoever? Because they're
No.
here. They have to have some
No.
presence of some kind.
Oh, they'll probably announce the rise in the prices at $90 or something. I don't know.
No, I think what they're gonna do is they're just gonna like use as a platform for, oh, by the way, Switch 2 is out, go buy it. These are the games. I don't think we're gonna see them announcing something like a new 3D Mario or anything like that. I think they're sticking to, which is partly why we didn't even brought Nintendo into the discussion
Yeah.
today. I think they're just gonna stick to, okay, new console out, these are the games that launch. Good luck,
Fair. Well, all right. Any other final predictions before we wrap up the episode?
I would love to see Bully 2, but it's never going to happen, and I need to stop coping.
Bit
If you
coping,
keep
yeah.
saying it, then eventually you'll be right and it'll happen.
Nah,
Manifest
they
it.
don't
Gotta
need
manifest
to.
it. Put it
They
out
don't
there in
need
the
to.
world.
To me, I still want a new Splinter Cell, and I have a feeling that I don't know, maybe something with Xbox, maybe a teaser, maybe something. I don't know, give me something. Come on.
Come on, guys.
Nah.
All right. Well, I think
And on
that's going to
that
go ahead and
Disappointment.
yeah. Yeah. That's going to go ahead and wrap up this episode, guys. That has been our Summer Games Fest predictions. Let us know what you think will happen at Summer's Games Fest. And maybe after Summer Games Fest is over, come back to this episode and tell us how wrong we were about all of our predictions and all the stupid stuff they hear. And about the amazing stuff that maybe happened that we didn't even think about. Because there's always at least something there, right? There's always something. You never know when he's going to drop like a major bomb on us that we never really understood, right? That we don't see them. Silk, if it's there, we got 4 seconds. Whatever. We'll have to see. But we really appreciate you guys watching. This has been the Smash Jump podcast. Make sure to subscribe to Smash Jump YouTube channel if you enjoy this content, and check out the Patreon where you'll get the exclusive post show right after this, where we were recording and talking about Halo again, because that's just what we do for some reason. And you guys want to plug anything before we close it out?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Go ahead.
I'll do it.
Go for it.
Yeah, got the YouTube channel, Game Opinion. I've got 3 things in the works. I'm slowly trudging through it, so yeah, just come and check it out. And I might actually start doing some streams again. I finally managed to get my OBS fix. So yeah, but
We need to see if Halo can work cross-platform on campaign so that we can stream Lasso.
yes,
gosh.
yeah.
That's
Unfortunately, we have to
content.
do that.
That is content.
Is
So I
this
didn't think
on-
Francis would decide to
just
play
gonna
Doom
be-
Eternal again.
It's just going to be me and Sam, well, me hurling abuse at Sam and us just like trying different methods of
Dying
speedrun.
over and over and over.
There's some speedrun ways to get through some levels.
You still
without
die though.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
best tactic is to go down the alleyway with the jackal snipers, and yeah,
die.
Don't jump over
Yeah.
the rooftops. There's no point.
yeah,
Oh
exactly.
man.
Is this on YouTube that you're planning to do
Yes,
know.
yes,
Okay.
potentially, yeah. Basically, in a
Nice.
nutshell, just real quick, we betted Francis because Francis said something about him not playing Doom Eternal or never finishing Doom Eternal. I said, well, you go through that, and then me and Nicole will do Halo 2 Lasso.
And then I saw Lasso and I came running. I was busy and I was like, everyone shut the fuck up. I need to yell at people.
And then he started streaming it, and I was like, shit.
Oh shit! Here it is. You can't do that. You can't do that with him because he will do it. He's
Yeah.
one of
Yeah,
those
you didn't
guys
know
that
that.
like when he says he's gonna do something, he fucking does it.
It's just like, all right, bet.
So, all right, guys, we appreciate you guys checking us out.
One
and
more
we'll
thing. One more thing. Very
Jeff
last
Keighley, we got one more thing.
We have one more thing, and Jeff, if you're looking at this, go to our website. Everyone go to our website.
Oh, yes.
We have worked on this. It's a
We have a
best
website?
games. We have a website, yeah.
Oh, since when?
Smashjump.com. Uh, we have worked on putting together a 100 best games of all time list that we're particularly proud of. It's been great fun. It's been a long time coming. So please check it out. We might actually do a podcast in the future to discuss this. But yeah, it's on our
It's why the
website.
podcast basically started, because there was just a lot of polite arguing and then me hurling abuse. So
True.
Yeah,
True.
so check it out and let us know in the comments what you think about it.
Let us know. Let us know. And maybe Sam, whoever uploads this, maybe go ahead and link that article down in the description below so they can go ahead and grab that
Probably
very
you know what to
easily.
do.
So, all right, that's been the episode. We hope you guys enjoyed it, and we'll catch you on the next one. Peace.